Hello everyone, Luke here. Today, we'll be reviewing the book Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. I enjoyed book reviewing with my mom so much, I decided to invite her back. Hi Mom.
Hi Luke, thanks for having me back again.
Glad you are here.
So, can I ask you some more questions?
You definitely can.
Okay. Can I ask you a personal question before we get started?
Yes, you can.
What made you want to book review children's books?
Well, what made me want to book review was because I have a really big book collection and I wanted to share it with the world and the internet, and I want people to hear my thoughts and some of my favorite books.
I think it's great, and I love recapping these stories that we read with you when you were just a little kid. So, all right. So my first question for today is, can you give me an example of what a bad day for Alexander is?
Well, a bad day for Alexander consists of getting your shirt wet in the morning, the teachers not liking your drawings, you singing too loud, having cavities, and many more things.
Wow, that sounds like this all happened in one day.
All in one day, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Would you want to be friends with Alexander?
I would like to be friends with Alexander. I especially like him because he's able to push through bad things and bad days and still come out on the other side.
That's awesome. So does the story remind you of any kind of day you've had?
This story reminds me of a bit of a day I've had. Sometimes I do have bad days, not nearly as bad as this one, but sometimes my days do get a little bad.
Okay. If you could jump into the book right now, what would you do first?
What I would do first is I would try to minimize the impact that they have on Alexander. Maybe give him some encouraging words, or tell him that he can do this.
I think that sounds great. Did you like the author's style of writing, and what was the style?
The style was from a first-person perspective, and it was very humorous, even though it was from Alexander's point of view. That's why I enjoyed the writing style.
Where does the story take place?
The story takes place all throughout Alexander's day, his home, school, and at the dentist's office.
What do you like most about Alexander?
What I like most about Alexander is that, he's always able to joke about it a little bit and always able to have a little laugh in there, even though he's having a bad day.
How did you feel reading about how horrible his day was going?
Sometimes it was a little sad, a little annoying. It's like, oh, I would really hate if that happened to me.
So was this fun? Is this book funny, scary, or interesting?
Definitely funny, because some of these things that happen to him are pretty out of pocket, not quite what you would expect in a normal day.
Would you read it again?
I would definitely read this book again. It gave me a nice little laugh.
Was the book too short, too long, or just right?
I think in parts it felt a little long, but once you got to the end of it, I think it felt just right.
Okay. So, how many stars would you give this out of 5?
I would give this a solid 4.8.
Oh, that's high.
Yes,
That is
it
high.
is. Yeah, it's one of my
Would
favorites.
you recommend it to your viewers?
Yes, I would. I want everybody to read this book so that even if you think you're having a bad day, you can read this book and you can know that you're not having the worst day.
Would you change the ending?
I would not change the ending, because in the end, Alexander figures out that sometimes these days happen and they're not preventable. Like, they happen.
So, let's finish it off with our 3 sentences that wrap up the book.
Our book starts with Alexander, and he's off to having a bad day. His sweater gets wet. He falls on a skateboard. He gets to school. His teachers don't like his drawings. He's not good at singing. When he gets home, he doesn't like the shoes his mom bought him. But at the end of the day, he knows that sometimes these days happen and that you can't prevent them. They just happen every once in a while.
That sounds great, Luke. Thanks for sharing yet another great book from your collection.
I hope you all enjoyed this book review, and I hope that you end up reading the book. It's one of my favorites. Sometimes it hits close to home if you're having a bad day. It's a fun read. It makes you know that you're not having the worst day ever. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Luke, out.